Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Zoran Report. I am your host, MasterZoran, and we've got a fantastic show for you guys tonight. All kinds of fun gaming news to catch up on. It's going to be a blast. Welcome. It is Monday. What's the date today? September 9th. Look at that. 9/9. We did it. Thank you. Thank you, Sable. It's one of my favorite ties. My grandma's couch pattern floral tie. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Branch, G-Tater, Flammy Z, Sable. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to get a little bit of coffee in me. And we're going to slide right into it. It's going to be a fantastic day. So the first things we've got... Let's turn off my news music for 1 second here. No more news music, baby. Throw some of those stream beats by Harris Heller back on. Boost Shack, Boost Shack, Boost Shack. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, guys. Today on the Zoran Report, we got all kinds of fun stuff. All kinds of fun stuff. Don't worry, Flammy Z, we got quite a stream for you guys today, so this should be going on for a bit. I think you'll have time to get home and catch some of the fun gaming content that we have for you guys today. We got free games to go through. We're going to be watching the Mario and Luigi Brothership trailer, the trailer for the Minecraft movie, which I haven't heard good things about, but I haven't watched it yet. So we're gonna experience that together. We're gonna talk about Balatro, Zelda, Concord, AstroBot, Diablo 4 expansion, Risk of Rain. We got a new Yakuza game coming. We got all kinds of fun stuff, and then like another 2 pages of gaming. I got a script today. I got a script today, boys. This is gonna be so much fun. Let's start out. Let's go through some free games. Free games for the week. You guys know where to find them. Epic Games Store. That's where we want those free games. We've got, this week, Football Manager 2024 and Sniper Ghost Warrior contracts, both on the Epic Games Store until the 12th. So you guys got a couple days left to pick those up if you guys want to check out some fun free games. Coming up next on the Epic Games Store on the 12th, Rugrats Adventures in Gameland. Pick that one up. Super Crazy Rhythm Castle, which I've never heard of. Half of these games are like shovelware nonsense, but you might as well just add them to your account for a rainy day. And what do we got right now on the Microsoft Store? You can get Hero of the Kingdom 2, which is just like some generic top-down RPG. It looked kind of neat. Can't beat free. Free's a great price. And yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to mention to you guys. Prime Gaming. If you guys are a member, if you guys have Amazon Prime in your household, you are part of Prime Gaming. And like I had been missing these. So what Prime Gaming does is they'll throw some free games up, and then you have like 3 months to claim them. Once you claim them, they get bound to your account. And there's like a ton of stuff in here. This isn't an ad for Amazon Prime. This is just another way to get you guys free games. But like, check this out. We got Lego Lord of the Rings, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, Lego Indiana Jones, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Borderlands, Greedfall, some shovelware garbage, Baldur's Gate 2. Baldur's Gate 2's in there. Loop Hero. Go get these games for free. Play them. I went through and unlike the Epic Games Store, you don't have to claim these like within a week. You've got like a while to claim them. I went back like last week and I claimed all of these games. Forager, Gravity Circuit, YouTuber Life, some Shark Game, Maneater, just a bunch of stuff. All kinds of stuff. Solstice. A lot of the stuff I've never even heard of before, but you can bet your ass at some point I'm going to play these games. Because they're free. You know, this is how you get a large free gaming library of hundreds of games. Oh, before we move on, I want to address YouTube. Sorry, everybody in the YouTube chat that I have not been like responding to your messages the last few streams. I have not been getting them on my tablet. I think I fixed everything. I had an authorization token for YouTube get all messed up, and I think think we may have fixed it. I don't know. We're gonna see one. So anybody in the YouTube stream today, shoot me a message and we'll see if it pops up on my screen and I can actually acknowledge you today. I know, right? Beautiful, beautiful. We got free games. Go check them out. Don't forget to check out gg.deals because that's also a good way. They're not always necessarily free games, but sometimes you can get games for like $1, and that's good. That's good as well. Let's slide right into, let's watch. We're gonna check out, there was some new gameplay footage for Mario and Luigi Brothership, which I haven't even watched any of it. So we're gonna watch the original, we're gonna watch the trailer that came out 2 months ago, and then we're gonna watch the new gameplay footage for it. We're gonna get Zoran's first impressions. So let's go ahead and do that. Get out of here, YouTube. I don't want you to show notifications. So this is a continuation of the Mario and Luigi franchise, which is an offshoot of Mario RPG. Like, I'll consider the Mario and Luigi like series to be Mario RPG Lite, basically. Good games, fun games. I had a ton of fun. I had a bunch of these on DS and 3DS and whatever. I think there was some on Game Boy Advance, maybe. So this actually looks sweet. Especially judging by like the timed attack and like, this is all of the Mario and Luigi RPG. What even is Mario at this point? It's the oldest platformer. Well, one of the oldest platformers. Get out of here, caption settings. No, I don't want to change YouTube, you're so obtrusive sometimes. We're just trying to watch Mario and Luigi Brothership. This actually looks cool, though. It looks like it's got some charm, some classic Nintendo charm that we've been looking for. It looks just a hair more complex than some of the past Mario and Luigi games, which has been like clearly they're aimed at younger kids. But I mean, I still get a lot of fun out of playing old Mario games. And this looks sweet. This looks pretty good. So this is the trailer that aired a couple months ago. I believe this game comes out on, let me check my notes. I want to say November 7th. Yeah, November 7th. Mario and Luigi Brothership. Wow, we just played that whole trailer with no game audio for you guys. That's okay. Zoran's still learning how his mixing board works. That's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll listen to the game audio for the... So this is new gameplay. This is what just came out. Like, they released this a couple days ago. New footage of the actual combat gameplay. Nope, it didn't work. So YouTube chat still doesn't work. God, it's so funny how everybody's name on YouTube is just their name. Because that's what everybody made their account. Why doesn't that work? You know what? YouTube chat might just be permanently broken now. RIP. It says we're connected. It says we're connected and signed in. How do I fix this? I feel sad being disconnected from the YouTube community. Oh yeah, Nintendo's been putting a ton of effort in. Can I edit this? YouTube chat. Oh, you know what? I think I know what we can do. God, it should, this Discord webhook like should automatically sign up for my bot. You know what? Whatever. But just YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. I'm gonna try my best to monitor this tiny little micro chat I have on like another screen over here, but no promises. What game are we looking at? This is Mario and Luigi Brothership. This is new combat footage. So what everyone's been kind of analyzing is this from the beginning of the trailer. So Mario and Luigi is kind of the extension of Mario RPG. And the combat looks like it, but it looks good. It looks fun. a turn-based, another turn-based Mario and Luigi RPG. Got those timed combos. It's perfect. It looks great. It looks fun. I'll definitely pick this up. Man, I was so convinced that I had fixed that bot. Turn-based is King Combat style. And then they just had this trailer just has a bunch of stills. All right, enough of that. Let's pop back over the Croc remake. Yes, I did hear that they announced that they were making it. Oh, we got an ad break coming in about a minute. So I'm gonna get and we're gonna get those pre-rolls turned off for you guys. Let's get the trailer for the Minecraft movie loaded up, heading right along. And I have a little article pulled up here, a Forbes article of all things, about the backlash against this trailer. And the reason I have this pulled up is because some of the memes that people were posting were really, really, really funny. So funny. So we're gonna check out the Minecraft trailer. We're gonna have an ad break coming up. Argonaut's been dead for years, and they choose to come back with a game that did all right. Croc was fun. I had a lot of fun with Croc. I think that's one of those. A lot of people are looking for nostalgia hits and platformers. We're actually going to talk about that. Platformers, because what are they? PlayStation came out with AstroBot. Is like their. I'm not going to call it their Mario, but that's kind of what some people have said. Is like it's their platforming answer to Mario, basically, and. It's sweet. It's like we want those games. Those games were fun in the 90s and the early zeros, and they all kind of vanished with the rise of live service games. And I think I speak for some gamers. We miss that. We miss those live service games. All right, Jeff Bezos. You gonna send us? Are you gonna send us off into this break here, or are you just gonna tease me with it? Let's pull up. I'm gonna pull up some more links here, so we're ready for when the break gets done. Jeff Bezos. There he is. There's Jeff Bezos. We're gonna send you off into a little Jeff Bezos break here, and one of the songs associated with the trailer memes has been stuck in your head for the last few days. Automod's weird. I don't even know what's all going on with Automod. But we're gonna take a quick little 3-minute break, and I'll be back in just a couple minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to fix the YouTube feed. We're gonna see if this is gonna let me do this. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. Garn47. I haven't heard of Garn47. I don't know why YouTube's not coming through. My test triggers work. Whatever. StreamerBot won't let me log in with the bot account. So we're just going to say, sorry, YouTube. I guess YouTube's just going to become a repository. And if you want to chat with Zoran, you're just going to have to make a free Twitch account. I know, it sucks. You got to put your email in there. You got to put your phone number in there. All these things. Welcome back to the stream, everybody. We are going to slide right into our next topic of the day, which is the Minecraft movie trailer. This movie is coming out on April 4th of 2025. And this has not been received well, but we're going to check this out. Let's see. Apparent I've heard, we'll talk about it after we actually watch it. Let's watch it. Let's watch it together. You thought the movie was a joke until the prop photos surfaced?
What the hell?
I think having real humans in the Minecraft world was a mistake. And It's bad green screen. I feel like having the cube.
Who are you?
I am Steve.
Somebody.
Okay.
This guy is such a tool bag.
I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't have the charm that like even like the Five Nights at Freddy's movie had. I kind of don't like how the animal's eyes point in the opposite directions. Okay, that was rough. That was a rough one. That was a little bit of a rough one, everybody. So okay, I can see. I see what people are mad about. So people have been baffled. Fans have been baffled by the film's visuals and tone. One commenter wrote, "I do not understand the decision to have live-action actors in the Minecraft world." So I'm gonna show you guys a photo that really stood out to me. So there was a couple of them. This photo right here is one of them is the actual shot from the Minecraft movie, and one of them is an AI generated Minecraft world. And someone said no one can convince me the Minecraft movie isn't AI generated because they look identical. Like someone found the image generator that they used to make this background, which is like that's greasy. They managed to make it look exactly like this, and this is like one of those scam mobile games. It's a green screen movie, obviously, because it's the Minecraft movie. My favorite one though, hang on. Tenacious D died for this. Okay, wait. It's right here. It's this. Somebody photoshopped Sonic's original face from the Sonic movie when everybody backlashed against the Sonic design. And to me, this says everything. This image right here, this says all that we need. This is how I feel about the movie. Somebody else also pointed out that it's like, oh, and then you look at the whole time that Jack Black is on screen in that he looks like he's in pain. I think it was we'll it does fit. We'll see once. We'll see what happens, because I know the Five Nights at Freddy movie caught some backlash for kind of the same reason, but they kind of nailed that one. That one wasn't bad. Game movie tie-ins are not doing great. You know, the Halo TV show with John Halo taking his helmet off and breaking all the rules and stuff. I don't know how I feel about this. I'll probably end up watching it. They did cook, dude. Oh my god, that's so hilarious. That's so incredibly funny. Let's talk about next stream topic. We got Balatro coming to mobile on September 26th. That's actually coming up. We got about 2 weeks. It's definitely not meant to be a movie that you take seriously. I agree with that. The Halo show was canceled. That's correct. It's not. It isn't a movie that it's meant to take seriously. I feel like Minecraft is such a beloved IP that so many people, I think the tone of the movie to me seems like it ignores like 3/4 of Minecraft fans, and it focuses exclusively in on like, we want the Minecraft fans between 2 and 8 years old to be really into this movie, and everyone else is not for you. That's the initial impressions that I get. So Balatro is coming to mobile. I do want to hear something funny. Yes, tell me something funny. Tell me a joke, Demon. So Balatro is coming to mobile, and it's going to ruin my life is the headline on Polygon, Engadget, everywhere. Beware. The most addictive game of 2024 is coming to a device that's always in reach. So the Bowser would fit better than Jack Black as Steve. Oh my god. He would. That's not even a funny joke. That's the truth. That's so good. That's so great. So Balatro is coming to mobile, and that seems awesome. This seems like a great fit for mobile. The joke that everybody is making is that global productivity is about to hit an all-time low. Productivity be damned. Balatro's coming to mobile on September 26th. What a great game. Balatro's fantastic. If you haven't played it yet, it is an incredibly addictive roguelike. September 26th. It's on its way. Play anytime. I think they said it was going to be about $10. I think $10 for, which is fine. It's fine. It's fine for an iOS or an Android game that's not going to be supported by ads. So that's great. Balatro coming to mobile September 26th. Yep, and I do have $10. So that's cool. I'm down with that. I'm real down with that. Up next, we've got a fun little kind of thing that's popped up here that I just saw last week. The Zelda timeline has been confirmed that Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are separated from the rest of the timeline. It's interesting how Nintendo does this kind of stuff. They'll just drop something like this, and it like in a book, and this is where everybody found it, is what is it even in? There was something, this was on like a poster at like some event or whatever, and so here we see the entire normal Zelda timeline that everybody is familiar with. Minish Cap, Ocarina of Time, and then you've got all of these, and then Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are their own separate thing. It's a good call. I agree with you, Sable. It is a good call. I think... So here's what I think. This is my honest opinion about the Zelda timeline. When they were originally making the Zelda games, I do not believe that they had this timeline in mind. And I think even like releasing Skyward Sword, I think even releasing like Phantom Hourglass and like Wind Waker, I don't think any of this existed until after the like the Zelda fans started getting really rabid about it, and then Nintendo kind of like retconned this into the timeline, which is fine. It's cool. Ooh, season 2 of Demon Tales is out. Sweet. We'll have to check that out. Yes, absolutely. And over here we got Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. It does make sense that these are kind of a rebooted universe. Oh, you're gonna start filming it soon? Excellent. Excellent. It does make sense that these are kind of like a rebooted universe. It'll be interesting to see if they continue to insert other Zelda games into this timeline, like the what is it? The Echoes of Wisdom is coming out very soon. The one featuring Zelda as the playable character, and she gets a sword too, by the way, which I think is neat. I think that's pretty neat. Oh, we got some conjured. We got some water conjure. I'll conjure a water. Hell yeah. So yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty neat. I'll be interested to see where future games fit into the timeline and if they continue to kind of lean on that. But I thought that was kind of a fun little thing here that we got, a little tidbit. All right, let's pull up. Oh, baby. Let's pull up Concord. So last week we talked about Concord and all of the awful that was going on with Concord. Nobody liked the game. It wasn't fun. And I believe I said, because I went back and I watched the VOD, I believe I said, there's no way. I did need that, Demon. Thank you. I said there's no way that they're going to issue refunds to everybody. I said that because I truly didn't believe it based on Sony's track record. Sony doesn't go refunding things like that. They did it. They refunded the Concord, everybody. The game's done. They shut her down. They refunded. There might be a day or two left on the servers. It might be already done. This was all like kind of news from last week. But they shut all the servers down and they gave everybody refunds, which is absolutely hilarious. Now, this was a game that gamers didn't want in an oversaturated genre. Yeah, air horn noises. Oh my goodness. They did that to your Minecraft dungeons. They did. But I mean, at least that had a little bit of a better, like, Concord, nobody played it. Nobody wanted it. A lot of people that I talked to didn't even know that it was coming out. They're like, I didn't even see any ads for it. I didn't see anything for it. Now, there is a Wired article that was written about Concord's death offers a bleak look at gaming's future. After 8 years of development, Sony pulled the plug on Concord today after just 2 weeks. The article says fans loved it, but seemingly not enough. Now, I think this Wired article is written from the perspective of somebody we do have a laugh track. This was written from the perspective of somebody who viewed Concord as I think this comes from like an industry insider, okay? This is a poorly written article because they found like a handful of players who really, really loved the game, and they're kind of gripping onto the like, oh, Concord was a good game, but it got shut down because nobody liked it. This is the canary in the coal mine for the greater gaming industry or whatever, right? They're saying whatever. I don't agree with that at all. And if you look at Black Myth, if you look at Space Marine 2, both extremely successful games, classic single-player style games that people have been clamoring for, right? Gamers are just sick of being disrespected. Gamers are sick of being sold a product designed to take more of their money and being given something that is trash. Spider-Man 2 is fantastic. Spider-Man 2 was a great game, but I think is that coming to PC finally? Is that because that one wasn't, or did Spider-Man 2 already come to PC? I don't even remember. It's been a while. Most of the articles written about Concord are on point and laud the really terrible character design and everything seems so bland. It's like you blended Guardians of the Galaxy into a mush and then extruded it through an AI generator. It's here already? Oh, hell yeah. I'll have to get, dude, if that's on PC, I'll have to get that because I played the first Spider-Man on PC. I really liked that. But so yeah, this Wired article they're interviewing a bunch of executives that are like, oh, it's unprecedented for a game of this scale to be shut down so quickly. Like a video game analyst. I think that a lot of these people are the problem with gaming. Like, these are the people writing this kind of article are the kind of people who are the reason that these games are dying. It's because these are the people that these big and okay, so one of the problems with the greater gaming industry right now is how expensive games have gotten to make. It's still only on PS5. I know Sony's going to be bringing a lot more of their games to PC in the future, and I think they've even said that they're not going to be keeping them PS5 exclusive anymore. They're going to be launching them like across the board, or like they're not going to be doing what they did with Final Fantasy, where they held it for like 2 years before bringing it to PC. It's interesting though, because God, I lost my train of thought now. Oh my God, this is the worst thing that's ever happened. I think so games have gotten really, really expensive to make, and that's a big problem because back when games were cheaper to make and you could make them with a smaller team, which, I mean, you still can, Sony's goodwill with players is very eroded. I'm surprised that they issued refunds, and I think they issued refunds because they had to. I don't think they had any choice because they've already, like, Sony's already, like, kind of was in hot water for deleting people's movies that they bought. Xbox already gave PC Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Oh yeah, Microsoft's been really, really good against about releasing games homogeneously across all their platforms. But so because games are so expensive to make, right? And this is also a problem in the movie and the TV industry, right? Like TV shows are costing hundreds of millions of dollars. Movies are costing hundreds of millions of dollars. So these studios are unwilling to take risks. If you think of a lot of the really, really good games and movies and stuff that came out in the 90s, early zeros, like in the past, they were, oh, you're a beta tester for Black Ops 6? That's sweet. They were passion projects. And now when a studio is like, we're going to put a couple $100 million on the line, this has to succeed. So you get these storylines, you get these character designs that are being, somebody had a good vision and then it got extruded through the lens of this, 70 like focus group tester, a bunch of executives that have to like homogenize it and make sure that it's like appropriate and it's going to sell and blah, blah, blah. And that's hit all these metrics. And in that process, in that extrusion process, it loses all of the soul. Neelanth feels like expense creep has more to do with them always trying to up the ante instead of just delivering good products. It does. I agree with you. And another part of it, and I think this is more applicable to like the movie and TV show industry, but executive producer creep is consuming the industry. And a lot of these shows that are like, oh, it costs $200 million, like the executive producers putting their names on it and then not really doing anything to help it is taking like a fifth of that budget, right? And there's like a handful of dudes at the top. And I think the same thing happens in the video game industry too. They don't pay people enough. And like you're seeing all that stuff with, we'll talk about it. There was the SAG-AFTRA Strike or whatever. AI, games, they're trying to make it so that if you're a voice actor for a game, a lot of these studios want to be able to, in perpetuity, use your voice for like, and have an AI chew it up and spit it out. And the actors are like, no, that's not going to work. I think going forward, I think in the future, you're going to see more big studios making small teams to do smaller passion project games, because I think that's really where games shine. And if you're not a Rockstar, if you're not Rockstar Games making GTA 6 and like you really know how to nail a AAA, quadruple A game or whatever, I think it's like, so, and okay, there's another Sony game coming out. There's another Sony game coming out. This is another one that, so check it out. This is Fair Games. Sony is very positive about upcoming first-party live service games. So they're making another, so like Concord got wrecked, okay? Concord got wrecked because it was a live service game they tried to sell, all these things. This upcoming game, developed by PlayStation first-party team Haven Studio, Fair Games is billed as a thrilling competitive heist game. So this is basically a Payday knockoff, but the tone of it, if you look at the actual tone of this,
with the complete and unprecedented failure of Concord in the rearview mirror, this could mean that Fair Games has a much and titles like Watch Dogs, Payday.
So it's supposed to be like a heist, like, oh, stealing from the rich, like, oh, down with corporate greed. Like that's the tone of the game. That's like that's what they're writing it from. But you have all of the exact same terrible character designs, the diversity haircuts on everybody. It feels like more live service slop. And Sony's real confident that everyone's going to be like real excited about it. I don't think that everyone's going to be real excited about this. I think that this is going to be received exactly how Concord was received. Does anybody, I have a question. Does anybody need, do we need another Payday? Like if you want to play Payday or Payday 2 or whatever, just go play Payday. I don't understand like Concord, right? I don't understand how Concord got through how did this go through however many executives and focus groups and testers, and like no one along the line in that whole multi-million-dollar company, billions of dollar company, right? Nobody said, hey, this isn't going to go over well, because anybody who is anybody who was at all close to gaming or like involved in the gaming, like what's the word I'm looking for? Community. If you're at all involved in the gaming community at all, if you know anything about the gaming community, years ago, you could have told everybody, you could have told those executives, like, this will not sell. Like, I guarantee it won't sell. Sony executives, like, from my perspective, Overwatch was really successful 8 years ago, and someone at Sony, some executive was like, we want this for Sony. Make us this. And then they were like, okay, but we're going to spend so much money on it. It has to do good. And then it got homogenized to the point that the soul was gone from it. And if you want to play a soulless hero shooter, just go play Overwatch 2. Exactly. Do I like space? I love space. I've seen, like, I've heard of Astroneer, but I've just never played it. Yeah, Overwatch 2 got released, and that already exists, and I feel like anyone who wants to play a hero shooter like that is just going to go play Overwatch. But, okay, so here's my my final thoughts on Concord. I think we have not seen the last of Concord. I am certain that Concord will be back in some way, shape, or form. Probably as a free-to-play. They're probably going to hold it for 6 months. If I had to guess, this is what's going to happen. They're taking it down. They're going to redesign the characters because everybody just... they were so bad. There was a video I watched on YouTube. It was a guy had AI redesign the Concord characters, and the AI looked so cool. The AI looked so much cooler. The AI generation looked so much cooler than what these designers that are getting paid like good money, professionals that graduated and are competent, and then they made something that's like anyone could have told you, like, this looks bad. All these characters look ugly, and they're all colored with vomit colors. Like, it wasn't that weird in Concord. All of the characters, like, color palettes was like orange and like puke green. Like, who graduated and designed that? All right, let's move on. AstroBot is out. AstroBot for, I think is it also on PC? I know it's out for PS5. It's a Sony first party thing, and a lot of the, like, Metacritic, it's got 94%, 9.5 out of 10. Apparently it holds up. It's great. AstroBot is a platformer. So let's pull up some gameplay of AstroBot. I haven't actually played AstroBot. Let's look at the launch trailer. Dunkaholic, are you not VIP? Let me make you VIP really quick, and you'll be able to post links. Dunkaholic should be a VIP. Dunkaholic's one of the homies. Oh yeah, my old boss is going to be on Hell's Kitchen. That's true. Everybody asked me, they're like, did you hear about that? And I'm like, dude, I don't talk to anybody from where I used to work like a year ago. Dunkaholic, you should be. Oh no, you're good, dude. No, whatever. So this looks sweet. Sony's first person stuff, the graphics look gorgeous. They said they weren't trying to go for super realism. This was supposed to be a little bit more of like a, Pikmin style platformer. And so this is out, and this has glowing reviews, and everybody that I have like seen talk about this has talked about it as if it's like this is gonna save gaming. This is the kind of game that gamers. These are the kind of first-party titles that the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, the GameCube, the OG Xbox. Like, we had tons of these kind of games, right? And people loved these kind of games. And then at a certain point, I feel like these like we were talking about, these studios got addicted to the money for the mobile games, the live service games. You know, you look at Diablo Immortal, it made them more money in 2 months than StarCraft 2 made, period. Like, it looks like the platonic concept of a video game. Like, this is the hit game in a sitcom. That's so funny, because that's exactly what people are liking about it. That it like gets back to the roots of what is gaming. But I don't disagree with you. That is fair. But so I think what this says to us is that gamers are just, people are sick of going to play a game and then having it be like monthly seasons. You got to keep playing or you're going to fall behind. Battle Pass. We want you to pay $20 every 2 months for another Battle Pass. Yearly expansions. It's like at a certain point, some of these games end up costing you $200 to $400 if you play them for a couple years. And unless you're going to like just be like, this is the only game that I'm going to play, Fortnite be like, yeah, exactly. Except for, you know what though? Like with Fortnite, I can play Fortnite and have a good time and not buy all that stuff. But some of these games are just too live servicey. And I think gamers as a whole are done. We're done with it. We're over it. We're like, nah, if all you're gonna be doing is selling us a storefront, because Marvel, what is it? What's the Marvel hero shooter? Yeah, so and I've seen games come out that were like, okay, even, you know, you look at a game that comes out and it's got a handful of maps, but then a really, really well-made store with all these things, you know, and gamers are just. Marvel Rivals. Is Marvel Rivals is the one... What's the one on mobile where they're like little tokens that flip? Is that what I'm thinking of? It's kind of like a card game, but not really. I feel like Marvel Rivals is one of the decent ones. There's a handful of like mobile style games that are actually decent. But you got to put the game first. Like, that's the thing that I think some of these executives don't realize is Marvel Snap. That's what I'm thinking of. I have not played Rivals. Marvel Snap was actually good because it was designed by, like, some solid designers. I think, you know, some of these executives, they see this, where they're making millions and millions and millions of dollars off this, and it's like, gaming's inflated too much. Games do not need to gross $700 million. You know, that's not the goal. You know, shrink your teams a little bit, make creative projects. Marvel Rivals is the ripoff of Overwatch. Oh, yeah. So Marvel, and so, okay, I remember I was actually, speaking of Concord, let's talk about that, because Marvel Rivals is basically, they also cloned Overwatch, except for, guess what Marvel Rivals had that Concord didn't have? Established characters from a universe that already exists and people like. Like, people like all the Marvel superheroes. They already have cool backstories. They have cool, well-done designs. You know, exactly. So, like, there's something there for you. If you want to, you know, if you want to go do hero shooter and you're Scarlet Witch with all the cool Scarlet Witch powers, that's cool. But nobody wants to be Vomit Chunky Boy Soldier with like bubble armor that's green. Like, no, and I'm some random generic sci-fi guy that you've never heard of before, and voice actors for them all as well. Exactly. So, and it's funny that Concord and Marvel Rivals came out kind of near the same time, because like it was just nothing. There was no hope for it. AstroBot. AstroBot was developed by a team of 60 people. 60 people, and it slaps, and it's tight, right? That's the kind of gaming teams that we need. Marvel Rivals isn't out yet. I think Marvel Rivals is going to do well much more well than Concord. It might, honestly, it might die the same death if people are really just that sick of that gameplay format. But like, people like hero shooters. Overwatch did well. Part of the reason for that is because Blizzard has competent character designers. Like, honestly, like, I kind of want to play Marvel Rivals because I got pissed off. I got mad about when Overwatch 1, they just like canceled it and then they just turned it into Overwatch 2 and you didn't have a choice. Like, you had to play Overwatch 2. When that happened, I blocked Overwatch 2 in Steam and I never logged onto it ever again. But I've been kind of missing that style of game, so I'll probably check out Marvel Rivals. AstroBot. Is AstroBot going to be the wake-up call for Sony? I don't know. I think Sony's going to release that other one more pile of garbage. They're going to release that Fair Games or whatever, right? Loki's the most overpowered in Marvel Rivals. That follows. I think Fair Games is going to come out. I think Fair Games is going to absolutely tank, and I think somebody's going to get fired. All right, friends, let's move right along. Diablo 4 Public Test Realm, Season of Hatred. Diablo 4 was really good for the first 50 hours that I played it, and then it kind of fell off. Loki can clone the other hero's powers. Oh, that's actually kind of sweet. YouTube friends, I am trying to monitor the YouTube chat on another screen today. I apologize to anybody who tuned into the stream in the last couple weeks and tried to talk to me through YouTube and I didn't respond. My bot is broken and I don't know how to fix it. So we're doing it like David did in the Old Testament. We've got multiple screens now with multiple chats open. Diablo 4 Season 6, Season of Hatred, Vessel of Hatred, the expansion. Is Diablo 4 worth returning to with the DLC Vessel of Hatred? It may be. One point I wanted to make is most Diablo games, Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, really were mid until you played them with the expansion. If you remember, Diablo 2 added rune words, they added all that, they added a bunch of extra cool endgame stuff. Diablo 3 had its own problems where they tried to do like the cash money auction house, if anybody remembers that, and then they remade it. Like, similarly, Diablo 4 was really fun to play through the campaign. And then when the campaign ended, the itemization wasn't great. It felt so randomy, and you were just kind of like, you were gathering up all of these unique, like, legendary, whatever, garbage items, and you were just trying to roll for, like, specific stats, and they kind of were all over the place. Since then, I believe it was maybe 1 or 2 seasons ago, they've fixed itemization, and they added a bunch of crazy stuff to it. They've added, like, so I went and I started checking it out again in preparation for the new season coming out. Blizzard has a history of messing up Diablo and then fixing it. So what do we have new? This is all new stuff that's coming in Season 2.0. So right now, actually, you can play Season 2.0 on the PTR for Diablo. If you want to check out some of the new design stuff, they're not letting you play as the new character. None of the new storyline stuff is in here, but you can check out, like, the balance and the new combat and stuff. Blizzard, give me more slow-paced dungeons, not hallways with random loot generators. Yes, exactly that. Exactly 100% that. I agree with that. And I think, so from what I've seen of what is going on already with some of the, like, tweaks that they've done in the last couple seasons, they're adding endgame. There's some cool endgame stuff. There is, they're adding kind of not really like raid dungeons, but like, I don't know. I was kind of trying to, like, get caught back up on everything that was going on with it. So leveling adjustments, they've added completely new difficulties. They're doing like, what is it? Level 50 is the cap with Paragon levels now. They've redone the difficulties, which were kind of inflated and didn't really make a lot of sense and were, like, way too difficult. We've got new Torment difficulties, monster levels. Everything's been basically rebalanced, retuned. I'm not a huge fan of the Paragon board, but I could probably get used to it. And the way that they did this, actually, because I logged in recently, and all of your items are like legacy items. So you can still use your legacy items with all their stats on it, but they don't do damage reduction anymore, I don't think. There's a few stats that like don't exist on new items. I just deleted all my stuff because I'm on the Eternal Realm anyways. So this kind of gives me hope because what do we got here? This kind of gives me hope because the campaign was decent. It fell apart at the end game. Now they're so we're officially getting Vessel of Hatred with a character that nobody wants. I mean, everybody wants the Paladin. Blizzard, give us the Paladin. Give me a Paladin. Give me Blessed Hammers. Just do it. That's it. That's all I want. They won't do it, but that's okay. I think it'll come eventually. I think because of Blizzard's history of Diablo shines with an expansion, I'm hoping that all of this retooling, all of these changes, and the fact that they are actually adding an endgame with endgame progression and like it's not, is it Ubers? They didn't add Uber, but you can fight like crazier versions of the bosses, multiple at a time and stuff for endgame now. It seems like there might be enough in there to actually play again, to make it actually worth it. So hopefully Diablo 4, I've still got it. I'll probably end up buying Vessel of Hatred. I'll probably end up checking it out again. Vessel of Hatred releases on October 8th, so it's coming up. We got about a month. New Diablo. I feel like there's going to be a resurgence. Everyone's going to check it out again. Hopefully, they did a good job. Oh, one thing that was so funny. I was reading something about this article. They actually, so Blizzard released like a little blurb about it, and the things that they were saying about it, it was so funny. It was like, we got like 50 new quests and like whatever, and it's same. They're the things that they said, like that was their blurbs. It wasn't a lot, and so it kind of felt like I hope you're saving some of this stuff, but we'll see once. New Dragon Ball game coming out. Have I seen what people have been making in the Roblox engine lately? Not since we did the Roblox stream. There was a couple. There was a Dragon Ball one that was pretty cool. I haven't seen anything in the last like 2 months, but prior to that, I checked out a bunch of Roblox experiences. Roblox is pretty cool from like a learning how to code and I like their business model. How they pay creators out. It's like pretty decent. One thing I don't like about the Roblox business model is that they pay their creators in Robux. And so it's like, oh yeah, you get like whoever gets 30% and then the other person gets 30% and then they take like a cut of it or whatever. Except for they pay you in Robux and then you have to, if you're a creator, you can convert Robux to USD, but it's like, you get like 10 for 1. It's like really a trash conversion rate. So I'm kind of like, cool, but not cool. Okay. Risk of Rain 2 DLC. Let's talk about the Risk of Rain 2 DLC. There's actually a bunch to unpack here. So Risk of Rain 2 was sold. God, was it like 2 years ago? Actually, I've got a bunch of links pulled up here. I was doing some research on this. Hoppo sold Risk of Rain 2 to Gearbox Studios in 2022. You got 1,000 Robux once? Were you able to cash it out into how many dollary dues? How many American dollars is 1,000 Robux if you cash it out? So Hoppo sold Risk of Rain 2 to Gearbox. They were kind of done with it. They wanted to move on to a new project. Fans were worried that Gearbox would not do a great job. And prior to this new DLC, they had been doing a passable job. The new update, DLC Seekers of the Storm, is buggy, unpolished, and rushed. And you cannot avoid it. Oh, I mean pounds. Or are you? Oh, that's right. You're converting into queen dollars. A single Roebuck is a cent. That's rip. I guess if that's the conversion rate, one way though. So you can't even avoid it. They released an update for Risk of Rain 2. It broke the entire game. Gearbox is now releasing. They're releasing patched. What does it say? The major issue fixed in this patch is one that is. Oh, so they did a really stupid thing. This was never in Risk of Rain. In Risk of Rain 2, but in the new patch, they tied, what is it? They tied effects of certain builds to a player's FPS. After the launch of the DLC, certain abilities such as the Mercenaries Special would change behavior depending on how fast the game was running, or in this case, lasting much longer if performance was poor. Others would become unstable or unpredictable depending on the game running too fast or too slow. It is asinine to me that in 2024, a developer would choose to tie game mechanics to FPS. That is a super duper outdated practice from like back in the day when your game was definitely always going to run at 60 and that was your target. That was something from consoles because you knew that it was going to be stable. Don't tie your game physics to FPS. Don't do it. Skyrim did it, and that was released in 2011. Ugh. So they made a bunch of really, bro learned how to code in machine code only. Yes, exactly. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. What do we got here? So it's fair to say that Seekers of the Storm DLC for Risk of Rain 2 has not gone how developer Gearbox wanted. At launch, the game was beset by negative reviews, with players citing issues with balance, weapon bugs, and a general feeling that it wasn't the same quality as previous updates. What do we have? They've now fixed that whole FPS tied to game physics or whatever. They fixed that, but the fact that they had to fix it, it blows my mind. It's like, you know, some old dude's in charge of something and it says, this is how we did it back in 1997, this is good enough. And then what? Are these companies set up in a way that you can't tell somebody who's above you that their idea is dumb? I guess that's how it is. So, on the bright side, though, former Hoppo Games developers have joined Valve and are now working on what is possibly Half-Life 3. Some project that is not currently known what it is, but people are theorizing that it could be Half-Life 3, or at the very least another Half-Life project. I believe Valve has actually come out on record saying that they are working on more Half-Life projects right now, which is kind of cool. Kind of a tragedy, though. I really liked Risk of Rain 2. I would definitely not buy it or the DLC today. We'll see if Gearbox can do something, anything at all, to fix that, to make that feel a little better. If you're gonna buy a beloved IP, you gotta put your money where your mouth is. What else do we got? Ryuga Gotoku Games is revealing a new Yakuza game on September 20th. We don't actually have any information about this. It's the series' 20th anniversary. The Yakuza games, a fantastic game series written about middle-aged men and middle-aged man stuff, and all the crazy things that goes with it. Yakuza and the Like a Dragon series, because it kind of split off into two. There's the turn-based, and then there is the like real-time combat, and then I think there's another spin-off that was like the detective that was like against the Yakuza. Super duper cool. The series' 20th anniversary, September 20th, they're announcing a new game, and they said in an interview that it's exciting. Like, they're like, get excited, this is going to be something that the fans are not expecting. It's going to be unexpected. I believe for the 10th anniversary, they released Yakuza 0, and they rebooted the series, which is super cool. So fans are kind of expecting something neat like that. Another cool piece of Yakuza news: Amazon is releasing a 6-part live-action series based on Like a Dragon. and it's releasing October 24th. Like, it's coming soon. It's done. It's in post-production. It's releasing in like 2 months. So that's all kind of coming soon. We're gonna get a new game. We're gonna get an announcement for a new game. Who knows when it's actually gonna come out? We're getting a 6-part live action. And Amazon live action stuff. Is there a trailer for the live action for the let's see, oh, there is. Let's watch it. I haven't seen this. I read about this. I didn't know that this was a thing. Ooh, sweet. Okay, look at this. We got another trailer to watch. Let's watch it. Let's check it out. Based on the Sega video game series Like a Dragon. Dude, Amazon's been doing sweet stuff. Amazon's done some pretty sweet stuff. The Fallout series was well received. They've also made some stinkers. I feel like they're learning to be respectful. Like, you can't just pick up a game series that you know nothing about and make a TV show based on it if it's gonna suck. But this could be sweet. Like, the stories in the Yakuza games are super duper cool. They're super fantastic. They feel grounded. You know what I mean? Yep. I'm into this. So in November, I'll definitely be playing whatever the new Yakuza game is. I'll be watching the Amazon series. Definitely. Ooh, 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 ooh. Looks sweet. Looks hype. That is... Yes. Amazon. Yes. Jeff Bezos. Stop. Oh my god, we got 2 musics. Stop. It's too many musics. Too many musics happening. Jeff Bezos. Yes. Good. You hope they do some of the goofy Yakuza game shit. I would be surprised if they didn't. That's kind of what I'm talking about like matching the tone. Because if you had... Everybody remembers when the Halo TV show came out. And, like, the executive producer and a bunch of the people that worked on the show were like, we didn't even play the games. And everyone was like, yeah, it shows that you didn't play the games. You didn't play them. And everyone got real mad about it. And I'm hoping that some of these content creators can get a little bit of humility and can take that into their soul and be like, yo, if I'm gonna produce and write the script for, like, a movie based on a beloved IP, like, look it, I wouldn't buy the rights to make a Zelda TV show and then never have played Zelda and then just be like, oh, this is fine, we're just gonna, it's like serious about like trying to find your friend's killer, but then you'll be fighting a naked man in a diaper because you talked to a clown. Yep, that's exactly how the Yakuza series goes. So hopefully they've actually played the games and they know that, and it's not just like a generic Japanese gangster show that they've slapped the Yakuza name on. I think they'll probably nail it. Cause I mean they've seen what it takes to make us successful. Do I think Demon Tales is your own movie in a way? Absolutely. It certainly is. Yes, 100%. If you little independent, made projects and films, those are actual things. Those are actual they exist. If I can go watch it on YouTube, it's real. So yeah, check that out. September 20th, that's coming up. We got about 11 days, and then we can see what the new Yakuza game is going to be. Let's talk about the next thing on my docket today. Test Drive 3 Early Access Woes. Now, this was kind of terribly embarrassing. I'm going to pull up some links here real quick. Test Drive 3 did an early access, and we're actually going to go on the subreddit because I want to see what people... Test Drive Unlimited 3. People who paid extra to play the new Test Drive early can't play it due to server issues. So they did the same thing that Space Marine did, where they released it about a week early for everybody who wanted to pay, like, spend $80 or $90 on like a premium edition. and the servers are broken and nobody can play, and it's really, 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 really bad. It launched yesterday. Okay, this was on Friday, so it launched on Thursday for folks who purchased the game's $90 edition. Unfortunately for them, the game has been mostly unplayable due to server issues. So it's supposed to be like an MMO, like open world racing experience. I've seen some videos of people posted on YouTube of it. It looks bad. It's embarrassing. And it sucks for the people that paid that $30 extra to play it early that just can't. If we go on the subreddit, there are so many, like, there's videos of people like posting how like the AI is so, it's painfully bad. Like, you'll start the race out and all of the AI cars will immediately turn left and drag you into the wall. And like they'll ram you off the course, which is fine. But if you do that to one of the AI cars, if you drive one of the AI cars off the course, it will just reset all the cars and then drop you back onto the map. If you can even get the game to work. The AI is broken. Everything, people haven't been able to play, and a lot of gamers. There was wow, what, did they post it on the regular test drive? There was a statement put out by the devs, and it was the most embarrassing statement I have seen. It was so funny. It was basically a bunch of like nothing excuses about like, imagine. Oh, here we go. Updated information about remaining server issues. Where is it? It was so terrible. It was such an embarrassing statement that they put out. Basically, oh, we're trying really hard to get our servers working, guys, and stick with us, and we'll get it all up and done. And they basically, it was a bunch of like corpo speak. It was super bad. It was basically the servers are broken and we don't know why, and we're doing our best, and we're sorry that you paid extra. And so now basically a bunch of the players are just refunding the game and with the intention of buying it later. Today, we can finally inform you that the quality of most services has significantly improved since the official launch of Early Unlock. The percentage of players successfully logged in has increased from 45% just 3 hours after launch to a steady 96%. We know you are still facing occasional connection or login difficulties, and we remain fully committed to resolving these problems over the coming hours and days. What blows my mind is if you're like a company that has like some jank servers in the basement of your office. If you've got some jank servers in the basement of your office, why don't you just use Amazon AWS to host your game? Like, why don't... They're scalable.
Jeff Bezos
I don't understand.
hungers.
Friends, we have a Jeff Bezos break. Go grab a little water, stretch, use the bathroom, and we will be back in 3 minutes for more gaming news. Oh my god, I found the video. Here, during the break, we're gonna show this. I found the video. It says you can't over-cheat the AI in their own dirty game. So this is after he posted a thing about how all of the AI will just drive you off the track repeatedly. When you do it to the AI cars, watch. It just does this. And then it teleports the AI back in front of you. It's terribly programmed. It's so poorly programmed. This is the kind of garbage that I would expect from like the N64. If this was on N64, fine, that's great. But a modern game having a car AI that this is how we weren't able to get the car AI done in time to launch the game, so we're just gonna slap Babby's first AI into the game, and hopefully that'll tide the players over until 6 patches from now, when one of our team members has 3 weeks to put into it. How can you sleep? How can you go to sleep at night? Like the marketing manager or like whoever's in charge of like whatever. How can you sell this? This game looks like Forza. Test Drive Unlimited has a huge fan base. It's supposed to be like a racing MMO, and Everybody on the subreddit says that this just doesn't feel like Test Drive. People are complaining the game's still unplayable, the game's broken, they aren't able to get refunds. It's a scam, the graphics look like trash. It's been a terrible, terrible launch. Not a great look. Not a great look, Test Drive. All right, we're back from ads. Jeff's gone. So Test Drive's not doing too good. They're offering refunds to people that bought the game early, since you bought the game early and then you weren't able to play it early. And they've like fixed the servers for the handful of players that bought the $90 early access gold edition, but when all the other players get dumped onto the server, the players aren't super confident that this is actually gonna do anything good. So we'll see if they can fix that, but man, what a terrible time to be a gamer when you when you're like a dedicated fan, you buy the game, you pre-order it, you early access it, and you are given a broken product. You can't even play it early. It sucks. And then so it's like for any game like this, like Test Drive comes out, I have to make a mental note to check on it 6 months or a year from now when maybe they fix it. It kind of brings me right along to our next topic. Starfield Shattered Space arrives September 30th. The expansion for Starfield is coming out September 30th. This is kind of funny, actually. So Bethesda Game Studios put out a little blurb about how it's their 1-year anniversary and how Starfield, thank you to the millions of players who have made the settled systems their home and helped make this an incredible first year for Starfield. We have much more coming, beginning with our first story expansion, Shattered Space, releasing September 30th. Here's a bit of what you can expect when Shattered Space launches. And what's really funny about this is it's almost like they didn't have a lot to say about it. Over 50 new locations to discover. Well, you already have 1,000 planets in the game, so 50 new locations doesn't really excite me. New grenades to craft. Because when I think Starfield, and when I think the problems with Starfield, the first thing that comes to mind was there wasn't enough grenade types, right? Isn't that what everyone's complaint? There wasn't enough grenade types? That's what I remember my complaint being. Formidable new enemies. Be on your guard for redeemed and vortex horrors, okay? You haven't seen the last of the Zealots, Spacers, or the Crimson Fleet. So this seems like they don't have a lot to say about it. Now, that being said, Bethesda games, just like Blizzard games, often come into their own after an expansion. So, like, even you look at Skyrim, right? Skyrim got better after a few expansions came out. Another game you tried and haven't touched since the first time you played it. Yeah, exactly. Are there actually any Bethesda fans? I don't know if anybody's a Bethesda fan anymore. I know, what was it? I think Luke Stevens did like a poll on YouTube where he had like 30,000 people respond. How do you feel about Elder Scrolls 6 after having played Starfield? And like 45% of those 30,000 people said they were not excited for Elder Scrolls 6 after seeing how Bethesda handled Starfield. And I would agree with that. I think a lot of the quests were broken. A lot of the promised things. This was for me, Starfield it pretended to be a full game, but it actually, all the systems weren't there. And so for me, the fact that this is from the official Bethesda Studios Twitter, and this is all that they have to say about the expansion, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going to spend $40 or whatever they're going to ask to add 50 new locations and like a handful of jank missions. We'll have to wait and see, because there's a possibility that the game will kind of come into its own. But again, I think it kind of sucks that, like, as somebody who played Starfield on launch, my experience is kind of tarnished, because now I'll get to play through the whole game that I already played through again, get a handful of tiny little extras, and is this expansion actually going to fix, like, you want to know what I want to see? All that I want to see for the expansion, how many missions will need to be paid for after the first mission? Who knows? Who knows? They might add some little microtransaction missions like that, but what I really want is just the Crimson Fleet. The Crimson Fleet big quest line you go on where you have a choice to like join them or the cops at the end. I chose to join the Crimson Fleet, and then I got attacked in the Crimson Fleet ship. I happened to be strong enough to fight off everybody in that ship, except for like 3/4 of the people on the ship were considered like essential NPCs, and you couldn't kill any of them, and you couldn't like all you could do was just leave the ship, and then nobody ever talked about it ever again. The fact that you like waged war on the, I can't even remember what they were called, the space cops or whatever. And then like nobody ever mentions it ever again, and it's almost like that just, okay, you finished that quest line. It was so disappointing because I really wanted to be like, yeah, we're gonna be pirate, we're gonna go bad, we want the whole, and Bethesda sold you this like, oh, the whole universe reacts to the choices you make. It was a lie. It was a lie, and it doesn't react to the choices you make. So we'll see we'll see, can Bethesda save Starfield? I don't think they're particularly I don't think Bethesda's particularly like excited about the concept of Starfield or what Starfield, like they were really like, oh, we want people to play this game for 10 years. And everybody played it, and like I hate to admit, I played Starfield for like 80 hours. I played it because I was waiting for the game to get good. And there was a tiny, I think maybe 20 hours of that I was having fun a little bit in the middle. And then like the first 20 hours of the game sucked, and a little bit in the middle was good. And then the end of it was really disappointing. It's not bad. The bones are good. Like you can tell that it's like it's a Bethesda RPG. I feel like a third of the game is missing though. And I'm hoping that they add it in with this expansion. But I'll be really disappointed if, in order for Starfield to be like a complete product, I have to come back to it 5 years from now when there's been 3 expansions out, and then they've fixed and added all the things that I wanted. To me, that like, it's like, am I even going to play Elder Scrolls 6 on launch? Probably not. Am I probably going to wait, 2 years? Let Elder Scrolls 6 come out, wait 2 years, let Bethesda do their Bethesda thing, and then play like the Game of the Year edition, right? Play the Anniversary edition. And then you'll get a good experience. I wish I wouldn't have played Starfield, because I think had I come into it with Shattered Space with an expansion or two under its belt, I might have enjoyed it more. And then the thing with their new game plus mode, where you get the singularity and then it starts the whole game over again, that for me fell incredibly flat. The second time through, I had no fun. I was like, this world is as deep as a puddle, and it became really apparent. But I'm gonna hold out hope because I love Bethesda RPGs. I love Elder Scrolls is like one of my favorite games of all time, despite some of the gripes that I have with it. The Starfield definitely, it's not a bad game. There's clearly something there. When you compare it to Fallout, when you compare it to Elder Scrolls, I was expecting more, and I'm just a little disappointed that it wasn't more. Or that they didn't focus a little bit more. Like I would have, they say Bethesda, what is it? It has, Starfield's got 1,000 planets to explore. Bethesda, it would have been fine with 200 planets. You could have cut that number of planets down by 80%, and it would have been a better game, because that's plenty of planets to explore. And then maybe you could have spent a little bit more time putting things on the planets, not just copy and pasting the same exact outpost on all 1,000 planets. So what do we got? 50 new locations, a new grenade type, new enemies, and yeah, it seems like they don't have a ton, but we'll see. That brings us to the SAG-AFTRA Video Game Actors Strike. So video game actors have been striking over the possibility of big studios using AI to recreate performances for future projects without paying actors. This is kind of something that we've been seeing in the last couple of years. A lot of contracts that voice actors are signing give studios rights to use all of those in anything for training AI. So basically, you go do voice acting for a game, you know, you get paid 500, or you get paid like $5,000. You sent a pic of a new DLC coming to AstroNear. I'll check it out. I'll check it out, and we'll talk about it next week. So you get paid, let's say you get paid $5,000, okay, for you came in and did X amount of hours of voice acting. You get paid $5,000, $10,000, whatever, right? And now that studio can feed all of those voice lines into a like voice generator language model, and then can synthesize, because like some of these tools available even online for free are surprisingly good. I actually did a test where I was trying to AI generate my own voice, and damn, it sounds just like me. It's kind of spooky how easy it is. And so from like the perspective of a voice actor, that's terrifying. I see how it's absolutely terrifying. Now, the news that just came out this week was that an agreement has been reached with 80 studios on AI terms that the Voice Actors Guild is happy with. So I'm guessing, so now what is it? SAG-AFTRA says that performers impacted by work stoppage can now work on those projects. Can you join me in the talk so you can answer your questions about it? Nah, we're doing, this is a presenter-presentee kind of a situation. And I have like a big script that I wrote. Yeah, AstroNear, I'll look at it, but nah, this program isn't really a guests program. So union leaders say game voice actors and motion caption artists likenesses could be replicated by AI and used without their consent and without fair compensation. And so that's scary to think that, like, I work on this project and let's say I lend my voice. Let's say Patrick Stewart, voiced Uriel Septim in Oblivion, right? And then what if in every Elder Scrolls game that came out after that, Patrick Stewart is the voice of Uriel Septim, but it's all AI generated, and Patrick Stewart doesn't see any royalties, any money at all for it. And that's kind of the argument against AI voice generation in gaming. Now, on the flip side of that, there's a fantastic mod that I've been playing Morrowind with, and it is a mod that adds voice acting to nearly every single line in the game. And it does that all through AI generation. Demon, I will reach out to you. Yes, if I have any questions about AstroNear, absolutely. So it adds AI voice acting. Yeah, I showed Ilyich that mod. Yes, it's super duper cool and it works really, really well. Now, what's super duper neat? It's a cool thing, and obviously it's a fan generated mod, and nobody's making any revenue off of it. And they are adding, because like Morrowind has hundreds of thousands of lines of dialogue. And this is something that couldn't exist without AI. Like, there is a 0% chance to get even a quarter of those voice actors back together. I mean, I think, because, like, didn't Morrowind only have, like, 10 different voice actors? There was, like, 6 guys and, like, 4 ladies. Maybe that's even being generous. It might have even been less than that. And they didn't have, mostly it was, like, the first sentence was voiced, right? And so then using those sentences, they fed it into AI and they generated almost all of it, and it changes Morrowind as a game. That combined with using there's another mod that lets you add audiobook versions of every book into the game, and then you can like have the David Attenborough AI voice just read you like the 30 or the 36 lessons of Vivek or whatever as you're just playing Morrowind, and that's super duper cool. So all of these things would not exist without AI voice generation, and so I think there is a use for it in those projects. They probably sampled a lot of data from Oblivion, seeing there was a lot of the same voice actors. I wish they would have, but I don't think they did, because some of the voices, some of the AI voices sound kind of robotic, like they had a really low sample. I know the way that they're doing this is they're feeding the voice lines into a paid service where you have to pay X amount of dollars per minute you spit out. And so right now, I think the mod only has like 60% of the dialogue lines, and they're slowly adding lines to the mod as they get more funding to like feed more dialogue into the AI generator. But they might be doing that, because I don't actually know. So for projects like that, it's super cool. From a standpoint of like how do we resolve this, right? What I think is that AI generation for voice lines should be able to be used for free mods and for things that are like being done as like a cool community thing. I think a big company making money off of someone else's work, that should be outright not allowed. And I think this is where we're going to need to see government oversight of how AI generation is used in products that people are making money off of in livelihood. Because at the end of the day, it's one thing to say like, oh, well, we can do a lot more work with a lot less money, and that's fine. But eventually, there's not going to be any voice actors willing to work at all if I get to voice 10 lines and then you're going to use AI to generate the rest of it and I don't get paid. That kind of sucks. So it's hard. It's hard for me. It's hard coming from the perspective of someone who sees it as both sides of the argument. I think it's a neat technology. I think it has applications, especially for bringing really old games into the modern, like, to be playable by gamers with modern sensibilities. But I think we're going to see more things like this, like creative types joining unions that are going to collectively bargain for them. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. So let's move on. We've got just a couple more topics to talk about today. Space Marine 2. And then we're going to watch the trailers for Dragon Ball Daima, because I have not seen really anything for that yet, and I'm kind of excited. Space Marine 2. Space Marine 2. I've played Space Marine 2. I am about 10 hours into the main campaign. It's good. It's good with a couple asterisks, which we're going to talk about. Sparking Zero as well. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is coming out soon. I think we're going to talk about Sparking Zero next week. I don't really have anything written for it. I want to do a little bit of research into what they're actually doing with that. But Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is on its way. I'm pretty stoked about it. That's going to be fun. So Space Marine 2, a lot of people have called Space Marine 2 a cure for what ails modern gaming. It is, for all intents and purposes, a single-player campaign with multiplayer capabilities added to it. Now, there was a couple gripes that I had with Space Marine 2. Just a couple of them, very, very tiny little micro gripes. And remember, I played this during the early access period, so I haven't, once the game actually releases, and they do have a 1-year-long roadmap, which we will get into and talk about. But Space Marine 2 has been released to absolutely phenomenal. It's been reviewed great. People are loving it. People are saying it feels kind of like Gears of War, and I see where that's coming from. So one really good thing I will say, because you guys know that I am like a performance and frame rate kind of a guy. I need my games to perform well. If they don't perform well, I don't have a good time. Space Marine 2, the PC version, has something really cool, and it is adaptive DLSS that lets you pick a frame rate target, and it will dynamically fluctuate your resolution to hit that target. And I will say, it works really, really well. It's implemented so well, in fact, that with my 3080, I have been able to play the game on high to ultra at 120 FPS at 4K, and I can't even really tell when the game is dropping the resolution down. It looks smooth, it looks good, it plays well, the combat is fun, the first-person shooter combat is fun, there's a lot of diversity in the enemies, the guns, it feels crunchy, it feels like Warhammer, it's fantastic. Go play it, support the devs. This is the thing that we want to see from the modern gaming industry. We want more single-player campaigns. Now, that being said, the couple gripes I had with it, one of them was we talked about Black Myth Wukong having invisible walls. And Space Marine 2 suffers from the same thing, where it has invisible walls in some places where it doesn't feel like there should be invisible walls. And what it really makes it feel like is it feels like the people designing the levels and the people programming the levels don't communicate with each other whatsoever. It's like, hey, we designed this big giant level for you. Oh, we only need 2/3 of it. So we're just in. And then what irritated me was, like, I was playing, I think, the first mission of the game, and you're kind of on this snaking path that's going through like a jungle. And at one point, there is a big open field out in front of you, and the path curves around to the left. So you naturally want to walk forward into this field. And at the edge of the path, you're just stopped by an invisible wall. And all I could think was, like, could you not have just put like 3 or 4 rocks there to tell me as a gamer that I couldn't go there? So there was a couple of those. And my other major gripe with the game is the difficulty is not tuned very well. And I guess what I should say is the difficulty is not tuned very well for a single-player game. Because there's 4 difficulty options. There is easy, normal, hard, and then like veteran. I don't remember exactly what they're called. It says in the game that hard is the intended difficulty. However, when you're actually playing it, the difficulty feels good, and then there's a couple places in the main campaign that the difficulty spikes way up, and it doesn't actually have anything to do with the fact that the game is more difficult. What it actually is that the AI bots that they make you play through the campaign with are so dumb. And so that was kind of when I realized the game is balanced around you having 2 friends to play through the campaign with. It was specifically, there's a specific mission where you have to defend these sensors on a cannon. It's like there's like 4 antennas, and these swarms of Tyranids will attack the antennas. And you are tasked with clearing the antennas and then also fighting a bunch of enemies that like swarm you, okay? And your bots are so dumb that they will not do objectives. You can technically command them to like go to a certain location, and then they just kind of start fighting guys. But the bots will not throw grenades. They will not shoot any of the Tyranids on the antennas. And then there are these flying guys that come in, and then they shoot you with these really, really strong projectiles. And your bot players will not target the flying guys. And then on top of that, all of the enemies will only target the player character. So you play through the entire campaign with 2 bots, and then you, because it's like 3 players, right? That mission, I think I had to play it like 50 times. And it was so frustrating. And it wasn't even because like the game was, it didn't feel good hard. Welcome back, Neilon. It didn't feel good hard. It just felt really frustrating because you're basically playing a mission that's balanced for 3 people. How's it going, Ethereal? Welcome. You're playing a mission that's balanced for 3 people, but you're basically playing it solo, and then the bots are just like attacking random enemies, which does not work for a mission where your antennas have like a limited amount of health. The other thing, we're talking about Space Marine 2. The game's really, really good. There are, however, a few missions that, because the bots have really, really bad AI, it's nearly impossible to do. And it's a thing where if you had an actual if you had like 2 friends to play with you, and each person like targeted a couple of those things, a couple of the satellites, you could easily complete the mission. Dropping the game down to normal difficulty makes it comically easy. So like even playing as a single, like playing solo, normal wasn't fun. Hard was way too hard because the bots refused to do any of the objectives at all. So you're kind of like, I was able to do it by like playing up absolutely perfect. The other really annoying part about that mission is in order to get the majority of the Tyranids off of each of the satellites, you have to throw grenades at them. Ethereal with the Amazon Prime sub.
Ethereal Plays just subscribed with Prime.
Oh my goodness. Yeah! Thank you so much, Ethereal. I appreciate that. So yeah, it was it was a little frustrating that instead of making a nice bespoke single player campaign, they really just had the multiplayer campaign as a single player game, and then they gave you 2 AI bots that are like really, really bad. So basically all that the AI bots do is resurrect you 3 times. That was a little frustrating, and it's also a little frustrating that like the game is clearly designed, like I said, it's clearly designed to be played with 3 people. And even when you're playing single player offline, because I am not even connected to any of the servers, the game still spins up a server and then like drops you into a little mission. And it makes the whole game feel kind of disconnected. It's like you're playing a series of missions with really, really stupid players on the internet. That's my only gripe, and I'm talking about it very critically, but like it's minor. The game is still really fun. I still recommend people to play it, but if you're gonna play Space Marine 2, if you're gonna buy Space Marine 2, I recommend you have 2 other friends that are gonna play with you, because if you do not have 2 friends to play with, you will basically have to play it on normal mode, or there's gonna be like 5 missions in the game that are gonna be just so frustratingly hard, you're gonna have to play them 40 to 50 times in order to beat them. Or you better be real, real, real good, which I am not. Space Marine 2 has a 1-year battle plan. They have a roadmap of a bunch of cool stuff that they're adding. And it feels kind of like they're kind of setting this up to be a Helldivers competitor, which is cool. They're adding ultra-wide support, private PvE lobbies, a sparring arena on the Battle Barge, which is kind of neat. We've got a bunch of more PvE missions, a new difficulty, which it will be impossible without PvE, or without more guys, actually. So what do we got? This is 2024, and then we've got 2025, we've got Season 3, new enemies, Horde mode, all kinds of stuff. So we've got the next year of Space Marine 2, and then what is this? Chosen DLC. They already have a DLC plan for it. I think this game is sweet. The tone of it is awesome. The graphics, the animations, everything about it slaps. The storyline is cool. The characters are cool. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm just a little bit disappointed about the single player campaign. That being said, that's not something that they can't fix. This is all totally solvable. This is a solvable thing. And I think this is... I want to see more of this from gaming. And I'm curious, I think today. So today you can actually buy Space Marine 2 without having to pay $90 to play it early. And I'm curious to see what our player count is going to be. Actually, can we see how many people are playing Space Marine 2 right now? It's not in the top 10. Oh, there's not even a... They don't have any there. There's no Steam DB numbers yet. Interesting. Interesting. All right. The last item on our list for today is Dragon Ball Daima. Another Dragon Ball reboot. And I was watching a little kind of like mini doc on Dragon Ball Daima. And... it looks super duper cool. So we're gonna watch the teaser trailer here together, because this is something that I just watched for the first time. This looks sweet. So this is kind of, it's another reboot. This is like they're doing Dragon Ball GT, the idea kind of it, but they're doing it good. And it's like, from what I understand, the Z fighters get transferred to another world, and it's a whole new universe, and they all turn into kids, which is exactly what happened in GT, but apparently it doesn't suck this time. Because this is apparently the most Akira Toriyama has ever been involved in the production of a Dragon Ball show. Like, through and through, from guiding the animators, the storyboarders, like everything. He was very, very involved in this. And they were also given a very generous production schedule because they wanted it to slap. And so I'm kind of excited about this. I'm excited about another reboot. I'm excited to more Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball slaps. And this is apparently coming out soon. When does this premiere? Fall. October 11th. Oh, in Japan. It's airing October 11th in Japan, so we get to watch it with subtitles. Oh, no, it says a Western release is likely to drop on the same day via Crunchyroll. So, no, we will get it in October. So this is also coming soon. I will say the animation looks cool. And we kind of... the Dragon Ball series has kind of power creeped itself into it needs a reboot. You find making Toriyama's name the centerpiece of the marketing kind of distasteful. I don't disagree with you. I do not disagree with you there. I think part of the reason that they did that was, and we'll go over it because there's another video we're going to watch after this. I believe this kind of started as like a little side project, and then it blossomed into something that Toriyama was really, really intimately involved in, like more so even than like the previous Dragon Ball episodes and series. So this looks sweet. This looks super cool. But now what, they only have, what is it 8 or 20 episodes or something done, and then after that something about it feels very bad in a small way. I'm not the hugest fan of the like...
Alright, so remember when Dragon Ball Super melted like 5 seconds into its first major...
I'm not a fan of like everybody being like kids, but I'm gonna suspend my disbelief about it. But yeah, this is kind of like Toriyama's last gift to the world. This is his final thing, and like he died working on this. Even like this was in production. He was making this right up into the end. So I mean, you can't. If anything, I'm going to watch this just out of respect of the effort that a dying man put into something that he loved. GT got a lot of crap for Kid Goku, and Daima's going back to that. I think they're trying to do it as a redemption arc, because see, GT did not have any input from Toriyama at all. He like was hands off for that. That was all written and animated by a completely, like, I don't think he even do character designs for that. I don't think he did at all. Whereas for Daima, he was like super duper involved in like even like writing it, everything from character design to guiding the animators to doing like he basically was like overseeing the entirety of the production of this. So to me, this is almost like the GT that we could have had. You know, this is like what could have happened. What and yes, they're doing the same gimmick, but like I'm holding out hope that this is like a redemption arc for that, for the concept of like rebooting Kid Goku. Time will tell. It's either going to be the best thing that's ever happened, or it's going to be super distasteful. But from what I see, Do I think they'll try to continue the Dragon Ball story? And if so, do you think it'll be good? I think they're going to tie it into the Dragon Ball story. Do you mean, do I think they're going to try to continue it post? Because isn't this supposed to, like, isn't this like another alternate timeline kind of a thing? Where this is like after Boo Saga again. I read a bunch of stuff about this and it was all kind of disjointed. I think they're going to continue it. I think they have to, because isn't Dragon Ball like the highest grossing IP of all time? Maybe, except for maybe a Disney something, but this is like one of the most popular IPs that exist. So they have to continue. There's too much money on the line. We're promised that this won't be like Dragon Ball GT. That's what they promised. So we'll see once. Who knows? I am cautiously optimistic. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. It's going to be super duper cool. It's going to be super duper fantastic. Friends, that is our show for today. You feel like there's a lot of people who are passionate about Dragon Ball, so finding a writer who can really carry Toriyama's spirit forward feels like it's doable. I agree. I think they just have to be cautious about how they handle it, because it's one of those things that like I don't want to see Dragon Ball turn into another just trash grab IP, you know? And it might not. Friends, fans, family, everybody, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out for the Zoran Report of the week. The stream's not over yet, though. We're gonna do a post show. We're gonna play more Sonic Adventure. We got the Dark storyline. We completed the hero. We completed the hero storyline last week on Friday, and we are going to continue that so that I can make another YouTube video out of it. We're gonna start. I don't know if we're gonna finish the Dark storyline, because I played through the hero storyline before playing through it here on stream for you, and Dark storyline is gonna be new for me. I haven't really gotten much into that, so we might get a little more stuck this time. But we're gonna take a short little break. I'm going to go do a little stream reset here, and we're gonna get all loaded up for some Sonic Adventure 2. Before we go from our news segment, I'm going to throw a little mid-stream special thanks to all of the long-time supporters. Thank you so much. AM King, AP01, Bipsy, Booshak, Bootsy Warrior, Bo Sniddles, BP Fresh, Ethereal Plays, Comrade Punky, Dirk Romrel, Dusty Balls, Flammy Z, Frsetto, G Tater, Goose, Ilyich, McMonkeytron, Nico D, Neelanth, Peep, Baus, Moonlight, Sapotes, Sarcasm, Snakeob, Stevie Wonderbread, Superhorse, Nacho Baron, T-Jans, TV Snack Time, Wolf, Fang. Appreciate you guys so much. I have been your host, MasterZoran. We're going to do a quick little break. We're going to be back for the post-stream. Stick around for that. And for anyone who is just here for the news segment, I'll catch you guys next Monday at 5 with another Zoran Report. We will also be doing a gaming stream on Friday at 5, so catch me Mondays and Fridays at 5 p.m. We're going to go ahead and throw some socials up there into the Twitch stream for you guys, but I'll be back in about 5 minutes, and then we're going to play some Sonic Adventure. Stick around.